Today, we're visiting the very places you keep asking about in the comments. Syntagma, Omonia, Metaxourgeio, Exarchia, Victoria, Larissa railway station, and 2 bus terminals on the outskirts of the city. I'll show you what's real and what's just myth. And there's something at the end that might surprise you. First up, Syntagma Square. This is where the 24-hour airport bus drops you off. For a full breakdown of all the ways to get in from the airport, have a look at this video. It's Friday night. Bright, busy, street musicians everywhere. The Parliament building, the Yves Guards, the Grand Bretagne Hotel. George covers the history of all of this in his Athens travel guide, link in the description. But tonight we're looking at the city through a rather different lens. If your hotel is nearby, you're perfectly safe, feel free to wander. But if you still need to get to your hotel and didn't grab a taxi at the airport, remember this one rule: never hail a cab off the street at night. I use free now. Let's check the prices right now, from €6 for 3.5 kilometers. Link to the app in the description. Now let's have a look at the side streets around the square. The city is full of people out for a stroll. Clean, well-lit streets. This is the city center at its best. Right then, let's move on. It gets more interesting from here. On the way to Omonia, we'll take a slight detour through Exarchia. Police patrols around the clock. This is where the flats are that I reviewed in this video, worth a watch if you haven't seen it yet. The neighborhood has changed enormously over the past couple of years. Young people everywhere, plenty of cafes and tavernas, and a new metro station on the way. Perfectly safe, all things considered. One thing to bear in mind though, if you are heading out in the evening, bring your ID. Police do carry out random checks here. Other than that, gravity-covered walls and a general air of scruffiness are really the only things that might put you off. Have you ever stayed in Exarchia? Drop a comment below. I do love to hear your honest impressions. Omonia, one of the most controversial neighborhoods in Athens, and here I am, in the middle of the night. The square itself is clean and well lit. Shopping centers, hotels, a metro station right on the doorstep. And just on the corner, there's a grill house called Old Omonia. Not a bad spot actually. If you want to know where to eat well and honestly in Athens, without falling into the tourist traps, George has put together a guide to the city's best tavernas, link in the description. But step away from the square and the picture changes. The light fades, shadows. I lived nearby during COVID, when the streets were empty. These days I wouldn't venture too far in. If your hotel is in this area, it's just over a kilometer from Syntagma, about 17 minutes on foot. I wouldn't recommend that walk at night though. A taxi will set you back from €5. Book through the app always. And one more thing. See those lads by the flower beds? Just give them a wide berth. Moving on. Victoria Square and the neighborhood of Agios Panteleimon. A lot has changed since I lived here. So many new places have opened on the square that Syntagma might well be jealous. Quite overall. Migrants, students, rent is cheap around here. A bit rough around the edges. A few empty buildings, but no real criminal threat. I do hope it keeps improving. The city is changing. And just ahead, the place you've been asking about most. Larissa railway station. This is where you catch trains to Metera, Thessaloniki and everywhere else in Greece. And it's where you will return to as well. There's a metro station right on the square. The Red Line. Just under 3 kilometers from Syntagma. 8 minutes by car, 10 by metro. Around late at night, a taxi from here costs from €5. And again, through the app only. Since we're on the subject of the metro, a quick but important note for anyone planning late-night trips. The green line runs until 12:30 every day. The red and blue lines run until 12:30 on weekends, until 2 a.m. on Fridays, and around the clock on Saturdays. Worth jotting down. As for the area itself, this station is clean and bright. The surrounding streets are similar to the Victoria neighborhood. Not particularly welcoming and a bit neglected, but perfectly safe. Metaxourgeio. I'll be straight with you. It's a mixed bag. Around the square itself, abandoned buildings and certain establishments of a particular sort operating through the night. I wouldn't choose to stay here. If you want to know which Athens neighborhoods are actually safe and comfortable to live in, have a look at your neighborhood guide. George goes through 14 different areas and gives recommendations based on our own personal experience. Liossia Bus Terminal. A different neighborhood, not wealthy but much calmer. Newer buildings, no derelict properties. The nearest metro is Agios on the Green Line. About 10 to 15 minutes on foot. It's 4.8 kilometers from Syntagma, 12 minutes by car. A taxi will cost you from €7. The terminal greeted us with a locked building and sleeping buses. All very quiet. That said, walking to the metro with a suitcase is hardly a pleasant experience. A taxi is the sensible choice here. Next stop, Kifissos Bus Terminal, a major transport hub in an industrial area right next to a motorway. The nearest metro is an 18-minute walk away. Nine minutes by car to Syntagma. A taxi from €8. The terminal itself is clean, bright and safe. It's a working-class industrial area. Getting out is a matter for a taxi. While I was filming, a foreign traveler came up to me. He'd just got off a night bus and wanted to know how to get to the city center. I booked him a taxi through my app. Friends, hospitality is in our blood, but in the middle of the night, you might not be lucky enough to find a Greek with a taxi app. So install free now before you travel. It will give you real peace of mind. Link in the description. The night is well past its halfway point, and we are heading back into the center. Monastiraki, Psiri, Ermou Street. This part of the city never stops. Tavernas, cafes, narrow alleyways, tables spilling out onto the pavements. Lively, noisy and rather wonderful. Among the restaurants you will find genuine local gems and blatant tourist traps. To make sure you end up in the right place, George has put together a guide to the best spots in the city. 3 ready-made routes with QR codes right at each location. A link in the description. One word of warning though: pickpockets. Keep an eye on your bags and phones in the crowds. Otherwise, there's a visible police presence here, and you genuinely do feel safe. So, we're driving through Athens after dark, from the city center all the way to the outermost bus terminals. Most neighborhoods are safe, even at night. The main area to be cautious about is the back streets around the Omonia Square. Simply avoid walking there on foot after midnight. 3 rules that hold true everywhere. Taxis through the app only. Keep your ID on you. Stick to well-lit streets. If you'd like help planning your trip, roads, history, food, it's all in George's guides and these 2 playlists. Links in the description. And if you have any questions about visiting Athens, leave them in the comments. I read everything and reply to all of them. Welcome to Athens.